Hello, crime fighters. I'm Ray the DA, and this is Straight Talk. Today, I want to talk to you about the unintended consequences of Kentucky's criminal-friendly House Bill 463. You know, catch and release should be for fish, not felons. It costs too much to incarcerate criminals. We must release them from prison. That was the chant of Kentucky legislators, law school professors, criminal defense lawyers, and the anti-punishment liberal think tanks in Washington, D.C., leading up to the 2011 of the Kentucky General Assembly. And in that legislative session, and over the protests of prosecutors and police, this criminal-friendly House Bill 463 was passed by a nearly unanimous legislature. The goal of that law was to significantly reduce the numbers of incarcerated criminals in our prisons and jails. Let prison inmates out early, or don't send them in the first place, was the clear intent of House Bill 463. And if you don't think the criminals like it, all you need to know is that the criminal defense lawyers honored the authors of this criminal-friendly bill as heroes. The criminals loved it, and why shouldn't they love it? It kept them out of prison and on our streets. As usual, Kentucky's prosecutors and police and crime victims must deal with the many unintended consequences of this criminal-friendly law passed by our legislature. The winners under House Bill 463, criminals, especially repeat offenders, and of course the criminal defense lawyers. The losers, crime victims, and the law-abiding citizens who pay taxes to our government and expect government to do all that it can to protect their safety and security. Well, recently I asked a police friend of mine to tell me how House Bill 463 has affected police's ability to fight crime and to enforce our laws and to get and keep these criminals off our streets. He sent a request to several police officers around Kentucky, and here's what his request said. As we all are aware, House Bill 463 was signed into law by Governor Beshear on June the 8th, 2011. It significantly impacts police officers' discretionary arrest powers. Specifically, it amended a peace officer's authority to arrest for any misdemeanor committed in his presence. Now, House Bill 463 specifies that a police officer shall cite, that means write him a ticket, instead of making an arrest. There are some limited exceptions, but not many. This law, as it's turned out, is very unpopular with the law enforcement community, primarily because it's reduced sentences for criminals convicted of committing crimes, and it has reduced the arrest authority of peace officers. As a direct result, criminals are more emboldened by these significantly reduced consequences for committing crimes. We have been asked, he said in his request, to detail any negative experiences or observations which limit our ability to effectively enforce the law, which are the direct result of this House Bill 463. It is hoped, he said, that these first-hand accounts of negative experiences and observation can then be brought to the attention of our legislators. Several police officers responded to his request, and many of those are long but detail very important impediments placed in the way of our police officers who are on the front line fighting crime and trying to keep our communities safe from the bad guys. I will publish all of these responses through our social media outlet, but only one response at a time. My request of you, crime fighters, is to read each one of these responses from police officers carefully. They are excellent descriptions of the many difficulties faced by our police, who are trying as hard as they can to enforce our criminal laws and keep our cities safe and secure, despite the efforts to the contrary by our legislature, who passed a bill like 463. Catch and release is not what crime victims want. I'm Ray, the DA, and this is Straight Talk.